makes me feel like Joe and Rogan.
Damn, we in this now.
Yeah, we in here. We in there like swimwear. Boots and guts.
That roll, Mike, that roll.
Opportunity survives the opportunist. Dreams, goals, aspirations. Dedicated, fuck how long it take. We never waited, we elevated. Thought we was gonna stop, we accelerated.
Everybody, welcome back. This is TMC, episode number 2. It's Esteban Salinas and Kyle Novak here. And we're coming back at you guys with episode 2. So today, I think we just kind of want to get back in the office and do some talking points on how everything's going and a little bit about what we've learned this week. But for the most part, I mean, we're just excited to be back. We got some new mics in the house.
You don't even know, like, I wish I could zoom in on this. Like, we got, like I said, shout out Road to a beautiful mic set up right here. You know, I'm competitive nature. I saw how good Esteban sounded in the first episode compared to my I bet I need to bleep that out probably, but my mic, it sounded so terrible. So I think we're pretty much official. We got it plugged in with XLR cables. Dude, we sound nice.
Look,
so
I don't like to toot my own horn, but we sound nice.
You know, only thing, life is rolling good for us. I mean, dude, we're going good with the company. We're going good with, I'd say, our goals in the gym. You know, one thing I think is a little bit lackluster is our fantasy team right now. We're both at the bottom of the league.
Look, what happened was, what's going on is we're getting the bad luck here. We got some teams that are doing really well against us.
Yeah. Well, me and Esteban have both lost one
and Jake.
week.
Don't forget about Jake.
Shout out Jake Smith. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm playing him this week, actually.
We both lost at least a week by less than a point, I think.
I lost by 0.3.
Yeah, his kicker didn't get him any
literally
points.
Goose egg.
I don't know how a kicker doesn't get at least one extra point.
Yeah.
Did you have the Miami kicker?
Yes. Even though he was like the top 2 kicker in the league.
I hate fantasy, but
and then Mars got 13 points with his kicker.
Dude, it's like the thing is I love fantasy, but I hate it too.
Yeah.
It could be the detriment. I check it like 40 times.
Yeah.
Sundays.
Well, good thing about this now is like in college I would get way more serious because we would play for money and I didn't have money back then. Yeah. Now $50 pot for me is like, oh, okay, whatever. I mean,
it's a little enticing.
It's like just a nice little meal for me. So.
Hey, but if you win, and it's the one like to where it's kind of like all our friend group, so it's a little bit of bragging rights, and we still haven't figured out a punishment. So
I like the Waffle House one where you eat a waffle every hour while you're there at Waffle House.
Dude, that's gonna be terrible. That
and you stay for 24 hours.
Or the one where it's you have to go to a stand-up comedy club and all our group has to write your jokes.
We should do that, or I think not even write the jokes.
I
think let them just do. They have to do a stand-up comedy last minute.
Improv, I'd kill it.
Shut up.
On I guess a more serious note, dude, I can't stop looking at this road mic. But anyways, we've had some really good stuff going on with the hype, even in the past week and a half since we launched the first podcast episode. Also, shout out to everyone who to watch the first episode.
Yeah.
We got pretty good feedback on it.
So. Almost 10 subscribers. It's big time.
Oh, we're rolling. We're rolling.
But what I will say is, 10 subscribers is not a big deal. But I think what's important is more exposure, right? Mm-hmm. I think what's important is people seeing it in a different platform. It's just one more reminder of, hey, dude, you can be better. Mm-hmm. Dude, you can be better by just getting into the routine, getting into a good community that is, trying to push you and hold you accountable and like just reach for all these feats, So
I think hopefully we'll probably preach this somehow, some form every single week.
That's typical.
That's what we want our community to be, is literally in every aspect. Again, we're talking about it again, just to kind of like the go one more. Ours is the marathon continues because it's never an end goal. Once you reach a goal, it's always on. All right, you accomplished it. Let's reflect upon it. Maybe it feels great for the moment, but let's get to the next one.
One day, if you've ever followed Nick Bear, he makes everybody get the tattoos, go one more on your wrist. One day, you're going to see hit your peak.
Or even TMC.
Or TMC. I like TMC. Like on my ribs, that'd be cool. I'm not a big tattoo guy. Like I've always kind of never thought much of it.
I've always wanted something that like really means something.
And that's the problem, right?
Because there's like an hour rule. You have to like think about it for maybe 48 hours. Like if you still want it on your body, then you get it.
Yeah.
Because once it's on there.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't think past 5 years. So, you know, the random teddy bear that signifies your girlfriend at the moment, or the random portrait of some chick that you've known for a year and a half, might not be the best tattoo. But then there's also some people that just do it for aesthetic reasons. They don't really do it for any other reason. Like some of those sleeves, bro, look tough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I envy, especially like when you got a nice pump at the gym.
Like Kyler, could you see him in like a colorful like sleeve? He would look, as a ginger, he would look.
Kyler, this is your encouragement to get a tattoo sleeve right now.
That encouragement, no. So. That's too expensive. Bro, tattoos are expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Pieces are thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, but they're beautiful work, though. Really like it. Again, I have no tattoos. My mom would probably kill me. My whole family would probably kill me. But still, it's my own life. I pay my own bills. So.
I know someone who put their last name real big, a big piece on their back. And
their own name?
Yeah, their last name.
Okay.
Like almost like a
jersey name?
Yeah, but not like that more, I don't know the name for it, but more like, you know that SpongeBob episode where he like takes like hours to write the D for the.
Oh, it's the.
Or the, not the D.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that, but his last name is a long, like 10 letters. And his artist forgot a letter in the middle.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it's funny, right? Because when you get a tattoo, and I don't get tattoos, but I believe they write it out on a piece of paper first, and then they put it on your back and say, does it look good like that? So he had to at some point check the spelling of it. Like, yeah, that's solid.
Yeah. What do you do like in that situation? You know, like in elementary school, you scratch out.
No, you put a little carrot at the top and put an E.
Or an asterisk, or something like. I messed up.
A little tiny E.
That's bad, but I guess we can kind of give you guys an update on hype, dude. Like in Midtown alone. Shout out to Jesse. I know Jesse, man, you've been killing it. We really appreciate you, Drew, all the guys in Midtown Heights and across Houston for just really promoting, like giving a chance on our product.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of how supplement business works, and I don't know an extreme amount about this, but I do know that a lot of those products become commission based, right? Like the people that sell the products can get their commission to encourage the movement of their products. So they'll get $1, $2, $3 when they sell, Gorilla Mind or this or that. And our product still isn't commission based, and it is moving. It is flying off the shelves, and it's really promising because we've had, like, it's been a roller coaster. There's times where like we aren't putting in the effort, but like retail just keeps moving and moving and moving, and it's such a great. What is it? It's such a great system
feeling. Yeah, and hopefully that translates. Like, I want to get into obviously more, not just Houston. Like we said, we want to go bigger, and I guess that's us figuring out about TikTok or whatever it is. Hey, we actually killed it on TikTok. We're a little bit viral. We don't want to flex on here, but we got over 1 million views.
Give it enough attention,
yeah, but man, that's kind of the way of putting our product out there, is hitting up social media in a great way, in a positive way. So we would love to bring on people to the team that kind of represent our values.
Kind of where I want to transition is something daily. We both have big like sticky notepads in our room that we kind of write down things. And one thing that I have on there that when I heard this quote, it really, like, for me, it means a lot because it kind of put into quote what I want, what I'm reaching and striding to become. And it's, or what I want for myself with hype, and it's slowly becoming this, like, fully, and it is crave the results so intensely that the work is irrelevant. And it's by Tim Grover. And for me, I don't feel like I get to a point where I care about the work that we have to do for hype. And it's really nice to be able to put that into words and in a way add to the arsenal of conviction that I have towards hype. So it almost allows me to strategically use a phrase or use a thought process to, to reiterate my conviction, and it implements it, or it ingrains it in me. So I think that's pretty cool.
And I think the same process, or I'm sorry, the same results that we want with hype, we want with our community, right? Like we crave, like that's why we've talked about this. I think we talk about it weekly. Is we don't care about sales right now. We care about the people who we're surrounding ourselves with, and the people that we surround ourselves with and who's joining our community that's just going to build us up. Like we're going to have a foundation that's basically unbreakable of people who are just.
I don't think we'll ever care about sales because, to be very frank, this is our baby. We love it, but this is not our source of income, right? We're creating something that's more than a source of income. We're creating something that just not only impacts our life day to day, but also impacts people's life. And like when you compound that, you create a community, like you were saying, that just is unstoppable. And we all become better together,
Within that, I think you see the results.
Yeah.
You will see the results if you, and kind of to touch on his point, I actually was listening to something that, I forgot who said this on a podcast. He was saying that people are so caught up in emulating the end result that they got one time, say if it was one great task, they try to emulate the result versus the process that got them to the results. Because if you emulate the process each time, you're more than likely to have a lot higher chance to get that end result that you desire each time.
To add on that, there's I forget the saying exactly, but along the lines of what you did to get to where you are now is not enough, or will not always be enough to get to where you want to go next, right? Adapting is a huge part of accomplishing these micro goals and right, like the amount of steps you needed to take to accomplish that goal that you thought you were just striding for. It takes a lot of adapting and changing of your trajectory to get there. So
your road is always going to change, bro.
For sure.
Your road's going to change probably daily, weekly. That's what every goal, like, all right, you can write down so many different goals, X, Y, Z, and I guarantee you have a set vision on how it's going to go, when it's going to come to you. But when you actually get into, I'd say, the process, everything's going to change.
And the thing is, you don't find the purpose in executing exactly like your plan was. It's about the journey, whatever it took to get to that point. And
if you can't adapt, that's why I feel like a lot of people end up quitting.
Right, you go full blockbuster.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, this isn't exactly how I want it to go. Which the route's not going to be straight. It might be curved. It might be a little chicane. Shout out to my go-kart racing tactics there. A lot of people don't know. I have a little racing background. Actually, it's my brother, but it might be a chicane. But it might. I think eventually, if you go with good intention, it's going to get you to where you want to go eventually. And it may not be in the timeline you thought. It may be way shorter. It may be way longer. It's trusting that. It's a constant trust. And kind of going probably about to another point where you wanted to go is kind of being vulnerable to that journey or that road. Being vulnerable to whatever it is life is going to throw at you.
And to be frank with you, I think that's what God is intending to teach us every day, right? Is having faith that you don't have control, right? Having faith that everything's going to work out and you don't have control. It's being able to just sit and realize that, like, the more you trust, the easier the process will be. And like the results you want will be there. And if they don't end up being there, it's for a reason. And a good reason, right? Because it's going to give you even more than you could even imagine, twofolds, right?
It's scary. It's scary. Basically, you're walking on a cloud, and you don't know if another brick is right there. You could fall 10 stories, basically. But it's the faith that, okay, even if I do fall, I'm going to be okay. Let's get back up, and let's keep rolling, basically, with it. So, and vulnerability, man, and we kind of talked, it kind of ties back into the ego, right?
Yeah,
all right, if I fail, you still have to get back up, and vulnerability is a weekly thing that you have to keep in check, because it can turn on you in a bad way too very quickly.
for me, I like to identify some of like the feelings I'm having or actions I have, and like so that I can process them well. Because I feel like if I just take my feelings and emotions one day at a time, I don't do very well. But whenever I kind of learn about how to categorize some of them, I do a lot better. And something that we've talked about in the past, you and I, was just 5 forms of resistance. And we went through that many times, right? Different avenues of resisting progress in our company. Remember? I mean, what was I don't know if you recall what our first resistance was. It came from me in our growth through company.
Was it actually just
starting
doing it?
Do you remember? I was like, no, dude, like I don't want to. I'm not ready. Like I'm trying to get my ducks in order. Like, and once I get that in order, then I'll be able to. And like, there was never a perfect time.
Yep.
Right.
There never is a perfect time, and it's kind of have to be. I'm sorry. Rewind that. It's more of a thing where stop waiting. It's in you. It's always been in you, and it's something that could be developed, whether day by day. You just have to get into it.
It's not about capability. It's not about capability that is hindering you. It's about whether or not you actually do it. And I feel like people don't understand, as you're doing it, as you're going through the journey, you're equipping yourself with these amazing lessons and adapting to where it wasn't about the end result, but it's about everything you gained on the journey. And we're not this world isn't asking for you to have it all in your hands immediately, but it's asking for you to be humble enough to realize that you're going to learn all that, you're going to get all that, you're going to equip yourself with all that as you do it. So just do it. Like, just take that step, and literally it all comes together.
And I guess this kind of, something just popped up into my mind, which was another bullet point I had written down from this week is, well, people always say, well, how do I take the next steps, or what is the next steps of when I do get going? It's always subconsciously the gut feeling. The gut feeling of what to do next is always in the back of your mind. And going back to kind of Nick Bear, he said he always trusts his gut on taking whatever it is he feel like, or whatever he feel like is right, he takes it from his gut. And to me, when I always go against the grain, it usually turns out a lot worse than my first instinct. Instinct is because usually your gut feeling is going off a good intention. This is what I should be doing. Say if you're in a routine, you decide to skip on something. Your gut feeling in the back, you should be doing this. But man, I'm going to sleep in a few extra hours. Your gut feeling says, no, get up. And Tim Grover says your mind has to be stronger than your feelings.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's just kind of going back to that, is you always have to just keep trusting your gut and keep going at it.
But yeah, that's I think a lot of times, at least this company has become a mirror of what we are as people, right? It's the same challenge. It's the same journey. It's the same progress. And in that roller coaster of a journey, there's going to be that voice that is the resistance voice in your own head, right? And that's the lower part of the roller coaster. That's when it gets hard. That's when it gets tough. Or when you're going up on the roller coaster, that's when it gets tough. That's when you're most resistant to yourself. And then if you just keep riding it out, if you keep going and you keep fighting the resistance in that voice in your head, you get to that next voice and that next part of it, which is kind of what we had talked about, is like the results of that discipline, the results of that diligence, the results of that motivation. And then it's all worth it, right? Like, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how they swam 30 miles from island to island in I want to say in Hawaii. And there's a lot of resistance in even swimming open water. A lot of resistance in the timing that you do it at midnight. There's also resistance in the people. There are people that literally have shark attacks happen while they're doing things like this. There's so many questionable things. And he says it's not For him, it's like you're almost numbing your mind so much throughout that swim that when you finish and you're crawling and heaving, that crawling and heaving is the most fulfilling, dopamine-filled, like burst of energy, and it's so worth it. Literally an hour, 30 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know how long it typically, like when you accomplish it, it's just, that feeling is so worth all the preparation, all the hard work that I got to get to that point. And it's really interesting. What purpose is the most what's sustainable, and what is the most giving? And it's those kind of purposes, right? I just think it's really, really cool how we work as humans.
And you know, going back to like maybe the example of you were saying the swimming, think how much, probably many times you just want to quit. Like how that just sounds like, I'm not a swimmer, but the times props to my brother because he was a swimmer. I know how hard that is, but within that, he probably developed something called grit. And grit is something that will sustain in so many aspects of your life. Dude, grit it translates, it's a skill. Because people say, like, we don't have the answers all the time, dude. With this company, we don't have the answers. We're still trying to figure out everything day by day. And but that's the fun part.
Yeah.
To me, that's what kind of keeps us going. And that's why it's a marathon. Mm-hmm. It's a marathon is, okay, we accomplished this goal. We sold one bottle. All right, yeah, let's pat ourselves on the back here for a little bit, but let's keep going.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can sell 2. Let's sell 4. Let's sell 8 so we can touch another person's life. Or but yeah, the grit is what keeps the sustainability going.
Yeah.
So.
I think for me, I think that's like one of the things that you battle with all the time, right? Is being gritty, is being like resilient enough and fighting through that. Like it didn't matter the kind of challenge in front of you. Like it could be a very simple challenge, but like you always have to choose to do it. But a little bit off of that topic for now. Again, we're so excited. Our product is coming in really quick. We've been talking to Brody, our manufacturer, and we finalized the labels and we finalized a lot of the product. We actually took the sample. How many samples was it? Like 10 or 12? And man, it was honestly my favorite product. Not only the flavor is amazing, but the pump that we're getting from the product is great.
Yeah, we don't want to release it just yet on what we added to it, but let's just say the flavor is spot on. You've tried it before, I guarantee you have, and it's refreshing. It's, man, combined with our flavor that we already gotten great feedback on, we're super pumped, and pun intended right there. But yeah, I think your guys are really going to like it, and that this is going to be, or what we hope is our staple product that we're kind of known for. I want us to be known for this, and this is going to hopefully give you the strength, the endurance, and the capability to do whatever it is you want to do in the gym, outside the gym, endurance, running. You know, there's so many different things.
I think these 2 products or 2 flavors are going to be our staple flavors. They are great. Not only drinking it, but also dry scooping it. So that's what I like about it. It's different as well. Like you don't find an orange flavor in the market. And the other flavor we chose, you don't find it often either. So we're really, really excited to make those our staple flavors. And another thing that I really like that, we were told the other day is like, Hype is it's becoming the nootropic of like the Houston supplement, right? The Houston pre-workout. And it's pretty exciting to be a part of that. Like it's exciting to fill a niche. It's exciting to like be known for something. Like I was saying the other day, I was lifting at BFit and I need a spot on bench, so I asked someone to help me out, and we got talking. He's a trainer, and he studied at U of H, and he did nutrition or kinesiology, I think, and he started talking about what I did, and he was starting to talk about the pre-workout he took. I was like, yeah, me and my buddy, we have a pre-workout business too, and he was like, what is it called? I was like, Hype, and he goes, no way, dude. I've been seeing that get passed around everywhere. He's like, And just those little things like that just makes you want to keep going and keep moving. And like, I just can't wait to become the staple of Houston pre-workout. But yeah.
And I feel like we're on the way. We're on the way with just trusting that what we're doing here is genuine. Like I said, we're not selling thousands of bottles yet. We're like, our 1 or 2 bottles a day is a huge accomplishment for us right now.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a huge win, because there's so many other companies that spend millions and millions of dollars that obviously we do not have, that on their product, on their tasting, on their marketing. And really, once you go into the store, like, we have to earn your trust. We have to earn your trust with our product, our ingredients, our transparency, and that's what we want to be the entire time. And that's whether we grow 10%, right, 200%, 1,000% down the line, we will be transparent with y'all every single step of the way. And it just gets me pumped, dude. Even talking about, like, even that one guy, it's crazy.
Or like anytime we get tagged on Instagram or whatever, like, we get a lot of feedback, like, great flavor, or dry scooping it, I'm focused, all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, that's us right there. That one commitment for their day of choosing themselves and their health and choosing to push themselves, like, that is a big win. And like, sometimes you don't feel it immediately, but like, as it compounds, dude, like, you're going to watch, it's going to be 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. Then we're like looking at hundreds of people who are every day choosing to be better, all because we decided to take that step. And that, like, I'm just excited to be a part of that community and make it a product for the community, not our product, right?
And we'd love to also, like, we want feedback as well. If there's something that, like you said, we love the great feedback. If there's something that you didn't like, or you'd want maybe this new flavor, or we want to start something new here pretty soon with a Q&A, questions that you maybe answered, whether it's in the fitness world. I know this man right here is going into his powerlifting meet, which we don't talk enough about. This man's about to kill it October 10th.
October 9th.
October 9th, I'm sorry.
Weekend.
Yeah, October 9th, and we'll definitely be behind the scenes with all that. We're going to be filming. We're going to get content. This dude's going to crush it. But, yeah, like I said, I'm definitely no professional in the fitness world, but if it's something that, man, you see the product, like, this is something I want to take a step into the first time into the gym, we love to help you guys out in any way we can. Or if it's a question about business, or if it's a question about, I'm in school and I have trouble, finding time for the gym, whatever it is, we love to help you out. And
not only we want to help you out, but like, even if you just want to hear more about something, because our plan is to really give you what we know and try to research more and get more, enough knowledge to like become a mini expert in that moment. And I think, like, even if you have to be an anonymous account on YouTube, but just ask the question. We're more than happy to start talking about it. I feel like there's a lot of good that can come from that. It just opens up the floor to say, you have impact in this company, you have impact in this podcast, and we're here to listen.
Before we continue, we're still new at the podcast game, and we have some hiccups. We may have cut out about 10 to 15 minutes of our talking points because we don't know. I want to make sure it's fucking recorded. We only have a 30-minute segment that we can record on our Sony, so one camera is fine. It can roll for ever. It even shows us the little red button, and then the other one, it has no intentions of us seeing if it's recording or not. But we'll live, we learn. But going back to our point that I believe we were talking about. I believe, but who knows? We're going to figure out in post. But, yeah, we love to any feedback. Feedback is critical because that's the only way we can really, truly get better. We want to create the overall best product, and that's if you want more of this fill, less of this, more of this ingredient, or better flavoring, whatever it is, or maybe down the line you would like to see this product, whatever it is, we'd love to take that criticism in or feedback in and improve upon our company. So maybe our podcast sucks. Let us know, which it doesn't, but we want any feedback, whatever of the spectrum is of our business, we want to,
Yeah.
because that's how we grow. We take our ego out of it. We know we're a small company, and that, like, you guys are what is going to make us grow and want to listen to y'all.
Yeah.
And we want to make y'all feel valuable.
Ask questions about us, ask questions about the product, ask questions about the podcast, ask questions about anything we do and everything, because we really want to get some of the talking points y'all want to listen to. I think that's like what we're really worried about. And at the same time, that we give us talking points and questions and anything like that, we can also give us feedback on, maybe, you think, well, there's too much echo or this or that. Just let us know, and we're more than happy to adjust. We just really enjoy doing this podcast and stuff.
When we know how to work it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, we've come a long way already.
Yeah. We're only episode 2.
Yeah.
So the studio, I want it to be like, we have a whole vision for it eventually. We want to bring on guests. I'm excited to bring on first guest, but when we know how to record a full episode in a full spectrum and a full one piece, then we'll bring on a guest.
Yeah.
But no, for real, we want to actually do a segment here within the next few episodes of like kind of a Q&A. It might be a little bit shorter. So make sure to follow us on Instagram at Hype Nutrition. That's kind of where we'll do like a posting to where y'all can ask us anything, whether that's about you bought the product and you're trying to get into the gym, you have some questions. We're obviously no experts, but we have some experience, and whether that's you're in school and you're trying to balance time or whatever it is, you're starting a business. There's so many things that you can ask us questions, and we'll at least try to help you guys out on. Like I said, we're no expert by any means, but we are here to help you through it, to help guide you in the
Or
best.
even just be able to reignite some more thoughts on that topic, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're an expert on a topic and you just want to hear more about it, or you like hearing about that, then talk about it. Put it in the comments, and
Just don't ask us on fantasy advice, obviously.
Yes.
We're still not the greatest drafters,
Kyle-
I guess.
Kyle made me.
I mean, if you look at our points scored, I've dropped 120 plus both weeks. We're not going to get into it. Anyways. But, yeah, I think to close out, just the growth. The growth is so cool. I'm just super pumped every time I get on here and on this new mic, this new foundation that is continuing just to grow literally every single day. I see it with my own eyes. And it was tough to see it first, but now you're seeing that little sprout, that little seed planted. It's beginning to really nourish itself. And without, it's not even us watering every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of y'all that are watering this plant. And it's growing quickly. And, like I said, we've stated in this podcast, it gets me pumped.
Yeah, it's organically growing, and it's kind of impressive because, like, it's a journey, right? And it feels like there's been times where we've thought about it and we're just like, we're not seeing anything. Like, it's very blank. What's going on? And somehow there's always another person there to keep the growth going, keeping the movement going, and it's really awesome to be a part of something like this, and it's really fulfilling.
Yeah, for sure. And to close out, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get the 20 subscriber mark.
Yes, big
20,
2-0,
maybe even 30.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe even
let's
40.
get crazy.
Yeah, let's shoot for a big 50. No, but like I said, the subscribe button really helps us out. We just want to give any valuable content and free content that helps you strive to hit your peak in any form, any goals, aspirations that you're trying to do. We'll repeat that every single week. So, I think Estevan had a great closing out line in our previous video that he recorded, I think. So we'll try to add that in there. So I think I had no other points to add to that. It was awesome. I had a great time today. Like I said, today is Saturday, 9/25. And I just want to keep this for record books of how far we come in each month. And so my name is Kyle Novak.
This is Esteban Salinas.
This is episode 2 of The Marathon Continues.